Remember when girl gamers used to be able to hang and actually be in a COD lobby or an older Halo lobby, and they would be able to dish the jokes, the smack talk, and take it? They didn't get butthurt over everything. Maybe we were a little try hard. Maybe we were a little cringe in the try hard department, but at least we could hang. A lot of us grew up with brothers or were just kind of tomboyish in general. And that attitude translated over to the games that we played, and we were not easily offended and butthurt constantly. Those were the good old days. But what happened? What changed? Well, I'm going to go over that in my opinions in this video. But what sparked my inspiration to talk about this was this tweet. Do not go after the author of this tweet. I'm not trying to like personally attack people. I just think her take is retarded. And that's okay. We all have retarded takes sometimes. But let me just... So here she tweets. She says, women who are toxic to other women in video games are a whole other kind of pathetic. Okay. First of all, the definition of toxic, the word toxic is just so ridiculously overused. And I'm sick of it. If I hear anybody even use that word nowadays, it's off-putting. I probably will not take anything they say seriously. Because it is one of those severely overused words that they just use for everything now. And it's like, get over it. Okay. So here we have Blabs, and she responded and said, L take. And of course, she replies here, I hope he picks you. Oh, don't you think that's a little catty or toxic in your definition? You just did that. You just did that, boo-boo. You were just saying how you're against this, but you just did that. A little hypocritical there, huh? And here's the difference is here is Blabs disagreeing with the take. She goes, L take. Okay. Here's me disagreeing with your opinion. And she just retorts to personal attacks. I hope he picks you. Like, oh, you can't possibly have this opinion on your own because women can't think for themselves. You are only having this opinion because you're trying to impress a man. Catty to the next level, girl. The hypocrisy is unreal. And why do they always do this? Why is it always, here's an opinion they have, somebody disagrees with it, and, oh, you're just a misogynist or you're a pick-me. Brain dead. Absolutely brain dead retardation. Late onset retardation. Because... that just shows that you do not have a leg to stand on whenever you have anybody who challenges any opinion that you have, and your retort is either misogynist or pick me. Instead of actually, I don't know, defending your stance and having something to say. No, that's always what they do. So I quote tweeted this and I said, nah, women who have thick skin and can hang in online lobbies are elite. The good old days, which brings me back to like the PMS clan days. I was in PMS clan back in 2009, and longer than that, but that's just when I first joined it. And I remember, man, back then the gaming culture was so much different. I mean, I've been a gamer since a very long time, since I was a little kid, and I'm 36 years old now. So yeah, I've been a gamer for pretty much my whole life. And to see the culture change is just frustrating. And I think that goes hand in hand with society and how that's changed as well for the worse in a lot of ways. But back when I was I was like interacting more with other girl gamers in like the 2010s kind of area, a little bit before. And that is when, dude, we had something to prove, you know? So yeah, maybe like I said earlier, we could be a little cringe with like, yeah, I'm a girl gamer. Yeah, I can hang. Yeah, we were a little cringe with it. But to me, that's way better than this victim alternative, right? So we would get in those Halo lobbies. We would get in those COD lobbies. And if people were roasting us, if people were dishing out that smack talk. Didn't matter if it was a kitchen joke, a sandwich, make me a sandwich joke, this or that. Dude, we just snapped right back at him. It's like, get in the kitchen. Well, why aren't you in the garage, dude? You know, there was a retort. There was a back and forth banter with it. We didn't get butthurt. We didn't get offended. We didn't call people misogynist. We could hang and we would dish it back. That's part of the fun. If you look at any sort of competitive sport, like football, even NFL football, or if you look at like wrestling, all that kind of stuff, notice that smack talk is part of the fun. It just is. It's competitive. And it goes hand in hand with video games as well, because video games are competitive now, or at least supposed to be, or challenging, that. Things have changed in the climate of not only society, but games as well, as they have targeted the mainstream. Because back in the day, if you were a gamer, and I kind of went over this a little bit in my last video, but if you were a gamer, it meant that you liked overcoming challenges. Not you welcomed the challenge and you wanted it. So whether you were playing a single player game or a multiplayer game, okay, so on a single player game, it's like, okay, you got to get through this boss. It took me this many lives to do it, or solve this puzzle or this or that. But you had that gratification of, I overcame the obstacle. I had to retry this many times, but I did it. It was like a badge of honor. You worked for it and you suffered for it, and you were happy that you succeeded and you overcame it in the end. And with multiplayer games, it's like, okay, yeah, you got to lose a little bit. You got to get your butt kicked some. And then sometimes you kick butt, sometimes you get your butt kicked, but it's the challenge of it. And it's the competitiveness of it that makes it so fun. And the smack talk just adds even more flavor to it. It adds more on the line. So when you completely eliminate that, you got this Weenie Hut Jr. version of Kumbaya stuff. That's just not it. It just makes it not nearly as fun. Okay? And this is a big thing we see widespread in society as well. All of a sudden, the Oppression Olympics became a thing. People started saying, hey, feel sorry for me because of my characteristics that I cannot change. And because I'm a woman, okay? Or because I'm this, that, or the other, right? If you're anything but a straight white male, okay, let's go ahead and play victim so that we can get some attention for it and people can feel sorry for us. And so this has extended to society at large. And this is why we're seeing so many people who are constantly crying and cry bullying all the time on Twitter, and especially on Twitter. It's mostly the chronically online, because when you actually go out in the real world, you don't encounter this stuff quite as much, but it is online a lot. And so what that has created is a bunch of victim mindset people. And these are people too who the treat yourself culture as well. And you just see people just not, it's this commie mindset of they want handouts for everything. Nobody wants to freaking work for anything. Nobody wants to be able to suffer for anything. Instead, it's like, oh, accept me exactly as I am and all of my flaws. Do not challenge me to be a better person. Do not challenge me to go to the gym. Do not challenge me to eat healthy. Do not challenge me to do anything that is difficult. That's where it's at now. And when you have that commie mindset, you just breed a bunch of insufferable people, to the point to where, oh, if somebody doesn't fit into an Oppression Olympics thing, then, oh, let me make up a gender so that I can. We have reached complete clown world retardery. It's just where it's at. And so because gaming has gone completely mainstream, they have taken away, and a lot of these AAA titles from the West, you know, you got Nintendo and you got Japanese devs who are somehow keeping some video games alive. But other than that, what we're seeing in a lot of the mainstream is just interactive movies, essentially. You don't even have to work hard for them. They're easy. It's all about cutscenes and QTEs and set pieces that basically play themselves. It's gay. It's just ridiculous. Nobody has to work for anything. I get to see all the pretty cutscenes, and I'm a gamer. Used to, dude, we would gatekeep that gamer label. Like, you're not a real gamer if you don't like a challenge. Like, you're not a real gamer if you only play Farmville. You're not, stuff like that. And yeah, so things have just gotten so hijacked by degenerates, like I said in my last video, and also these victim mindset, commie type people that, okay, you just call yourself a gamer, but back in the day, you definitely wouldn't be considered one. And so now you have a bunch of these pansies who want to walk into these online lobbies and then be a cry bully and complain every time somebody just tries to have some fun or smack talk. And not only that, if you want to talk about toxic, which when you're playing a competitive game, sometimes people will get frustrated. That's part of it. So while a lot of times it can be just good fun where people are smack talking and roasting each other, sometimes it does get heated. That's just the nature of it because you're in a competitive mode. And the thing is whenever it does get heated, you got to be able to hang and bounce back from it, because how many times do you see a bunch of dudes playing games together and they are just like ripping each other apart, man, and they're actually mad. And then after the game's over, I mean, these can be even complete strangers in the same team. And then after the game's done, win or lose, they're like, all right, good games, man. Let's add each other. Let's be bros. And they're friends after that. And so that's just kind of the nature of it. It's just when you have like this high stakes competitive environment, that kind of stuff happens. So if you can't hang, then maybe it's not for you. Okay? Maybe you could go back to your Farmvilles. All right? If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. Because I am sick of these pansies and degenerate. It's pansies, it's degenerates, it's commies. They've taken over gaming and I'm over it. I am so beyond over it. Let's gatekeep this again if we can even salvage it. I don't know, but I'm sick and tired of it. And there are girls out there who can hang. There are girls out there who are not victim in this victim mindset and who don't. In a lot of these cases, a lot of these girls that aren't like that, the ones who are just like in that victim mindset, they will purposefully get that negative attention so that they can use it to play a victim and have people feel sorry for them. It's insane. It's like, I see clips on Twitter of these girls going into these COD lobbies or whatever lobby it is for whatever game and purposefully antagonizing these dudes. And so when a dude does make a get in the kitchen joke, then they want to cry about it. Well, what do you think's going to happen when you walk in there and you say, oh, wow, look at you bigots. I can't believe this. You're just asking to get roasted at that point. You're making it easy. Making it so easy. So then when it happens, they want to cry about it. They want to cry bully. They want to be all holier than thou, and it's retarded. Like, just go. Just get out of the hobby if you can't hang. I am over it. That's just where I'm at with everything. So anyway, there you have it for today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Don't forget to read your rivals today. I will catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.